Well, hello. Welcome back. I have moved. It took a while. Moving didn't take a while, but having everything in this house ready to move because we're kind of playing musical rooms, musical chairs. Uh, where I moved from is where my landlords want to move into when they move here. So there was sort of moving their furniture out of this room and others upstairs and putting them down into that one and getting all of my stuff upstairs. And it was kind of a full day and I'm really exhausted. But it's done. I live upstairs now in the house that I'm renting a room in. This is my room. And this old house is really cool and really old, and it's getting fixed up in stages, and there's a hole in my wall, except it's on that side. I might try to put a picture over that or something, but for now, there's a hole in the wall. Uh, I'm pretty happy with how I have it set up. I used that grid paper a little over a week ago and kind of mapped out how I would set things up, and it actually fit much better than I expected. I have more space than I thought I would. So that's really nice because I was kind of expecting to be squished in here, but it feels good. And if I am in this room for a very long time, that's going to be okay. I think I might even prefer it to where I was. I spent today moving and I went on a bike ride after I got all done, and like, I live in a small town that is completely calm, but I have I've lived in a lot of cities in the United States, and so the news this week has been so hard to it's been so hard to see neighborhoods that I've actually known a little bit getting completely torn apart. And especially in Minneapolis, I have lots of friends that live there, and I've spent quite a bit of time in the Twin Cities, months at a time, to take classes or to serve parts of my internship at different times. The Lake and Chicago area was like where I hung out. That was my friend who I always stayed with lived 5 or 6 blocks south of that intersection, and that's like where George Floyd was killed, and to know a lot of those storefronts, and that it would just be a familiar place to walk through, and so to see scenes of it on the news getting torn apart was so heartbreaking. And not because it's something I know, but because it's a place where people live and have their homes and their businesses, and their whole lives are upended, and there's a lot of damage and there's a lot of violence. And anyway, my heart is with people against police brutality, first and foremost. Black Lives Matter, and the fact that we need to have protests of police brutality is an enormous problem and a stain on this country. And also, there seem to be pretty reliable sources saying that outside agitators are coming in, whether they are right wing or extreme left wing. It kind of doesn't matter. It kind of doesn't matter because the way they're going about trying to get what they want is illegitimate. This is not how you do things in a democracy. And furthermore, to take the spotlight off of the protests against police brutality is sickening. It's sickening that you'd be an opportunist at that time. It's kind of adorable that you think that a few nights of violence and setting some things on fire is going to bring down the government and get you the country that you think you want. Let me just say, having studied some history, that's not usually how these things go. So it's a crazy week. I don't want to ignore that. I don't want to seem untouched by it. But I also moved into a new room and I really like it. And that was something that had been weighing on my mind and just something that needed to get done so that I could keep moving forward and just live life. And I hope that you are safe and well. And that's really all I can say. I hope that you are safe and well, and I will see you in a week.